Welcome back to another episode of the Switch Survival Guide. The next couple episodes will be about how to build Plant Species X turrets to defend your base. And the main weaknesses of a floating fortress are whales and alpha predators, and these awesome turrets are able to slow down both of them to the point where they can barely move, making it really easy for you to escape from their attacks. Now, I am actually fighting an alpha tyrannosaur and an alpha megalodon at the same time, and managed to kill both of them after quite a lot of shooting. And so we'll teach you how to make these awesome turrets and defend your base. We're also going to teach you where to find Plant Species X seeds in this episode, which is the first thing you need to do in order to make those awesome turrets. They are an organic turret, and they are basically plants, and you can find their seeds in certain areas in the swamp on the island. So we'll show you exactly where to get those, how to find them, and how to gather the seeds and bring them back to your base so you can make those awesome turrets. I'll also show you some cool tricks and tips on how to cross the entire island on a low-level pteranodon without dying or falling to the ground in the process. So be sure to watch this episode. It will be incredibly helpful, and it will be the first step in building amazing Plant Species X turrets to defend any base. Now, before we start this guide, let me show this to all of those who are just searching on here and just want a quick answer on where to find Plant Species X. The pink dot on the map and the blue arrow above it are places where you can find Plant Species X, and if you follow this path right here, this whole area has a lot of Plant Species X growing along the edge of the swamp. That's the green obelisk, and just to the west of it starts this little stretch, and right here where I'm circling is where I found the Plant Species X in this video, and we'll show you exactly where to find that. I'll probably put some links in the description for timestamps of where to jump straight to the location of Plant Species X if you're just interested in that. But this whole journey we're going to be searching up and down this river, which is the edge of the swamp. So we're actually going to start from the herbivore island down on the very southeast, and we're going to head across the ocean, fly along this coastline, and then follow this river, which is much safer. And then we'll hop across and then get into the swamp area from right about here, and we'll search this whole area for Plant Species X. Okay, so let's get started. Now, I'm going to start by pulling out my map and giving a marker location of the approximate place we're going to start looking for Plant Species X. So I'm actually going to start looking at about 7062 on the map, and we'll mark that pink because Plant Species X flowers are kind of a pinkish orange color, and that's what we're going to be looking for along the shores of the swamp. So that pink dot right there is the very southernmost point on that river we're going to be searching. So we're going to head there and then start searching north from that spot. And if you want to jump straight to the place where we actually find the Plant Species X, jump to about 11 minutes into this video, and that'll give you a pretty good idea of where to go. Now, right here, I've got a ton of stem berries and meat loaded up on my pteranodon, and the reason I did that is if I run out of stamina in the air, I'm going to come flying down and crash into the ground, and even though I won't die on impact, I will be completely vulnerable to any predators, and there are tons of predators, so basically falling out of the sky with a pteranodon is pretty much guaranteed death. So I've got these backup stem berries because if I eat like 100 of them, I'll actually recover a good bit of stamina, but I will start going through my food so fast my pteranodon will starve to death if I don't have a ton of it. So that's going to be a backup just in case of emergency. So you can see the green obelisk in the background on the right-hand side, and we're going to use that as a general marker for the direction to head because the Plant Species X river is just to the west of that green obelisk. So I'm running out of stamina here, so I'm going to go ahead and land on a boulder that looks safe. Now you'll notice that on the top right, just below my health bar, is my stamina meter, and that is the most important thing to pay attention to with a low-level Pteranodon, because I don't have a ton of stamina on this guy, and when that stamina runs out, I run out and I can just fall out of the sky and pretty much die. So here is the mouth of that river we're going to be following, and we're already seeing a Spinosaur, so you can kind of get an idea of why I don't generally go in here. And look to the right, there's some ruins and a Tapehara. Now, Tapeharas are basically like Pteranodons on steroids. I'm definitely going to try to tame one at some point soon. They are very hard to tame, but we'll get into that later on. But those ruins also have a explorer note in them, so if you want an experience boost, that's another spot where you can get one. So I'm kind of going over this valley, and you can see there's a T-Rex to my left, and he just punted something off into the air. That was ridiculous. So I'm not even going to try for that loot drop because there's a Tyrannosaur right next to it, but I do want to park on this ledge. And he seems like he's pretty busy killing stuff other than me right now. So I'm just going to rest for a minute and let my stamina recharge. And he seems like those little Triceratops looking things over there. I think they're Pachyrhinoceros, something like that. Anyway, those should be keeping him busy long enough to fly off. So I'm basically, as I'm going along this river, I'm keeping an eye out for big boulders that I can land on that will keep me mostly out of harm's way, because every so often I need to rest and let my stamina recharge. Now I can technically fly a lot further without using my sprint, but it takes so long to fly there. I'm going to try to sprint as often as I can and then rest on these boulders, and that'll get me there a lot faster. So we're starting to get close to the swampy area, and as I can see from higher up, I'm actually right across from that swamp, and this is what we're looking for right here. You can see this is a swampland. We've got all these cypress swamp trees here, and I think right around here is the place that I've seen people get plant species X, and I'm just going to look real carefully along this area, because the thing we really want is to get a plant species X right on the edge of the swamp. If you land in the middle of the swamp, you're pretty much just, expect to die. It is really dangerous to come out here with a Pteranodon, and you may have noticed I don't have any items on me at all, because even though I really like the color of this Pteranodon, it's worth it to risk it to get these plant species X turrets going. But I do expect that I very well may die and lose my Pteranodon, so just keep that in mind as you come out here. You are quite likely to lose your Pteranodon in the process. Now, there are these cattails. It's kind of hard to see from up here, but if you look right down on the right-hand side, right along the riverbank, there's these cattail-looking plants, and those actually contain plant species X seeds, but it is very rare chance. So you're going to have to gather probably thousands of berries from those cattails in order to get one or two plant species X seeds. It is a viable option if you can safely get near the swamp. Oh man, check out that Carnotaur. That's a cool tech parasaur, but he's dead now. Okay, so I'm going to need to rest and recharge my stamina a little bit. But let's see if this is safe. Oh, nope, that's a snake. Okay. Be very wary in the swamp. You got to keep an eye out for everything, because everything is dangerous in there. And if one of those Titan boas, which is those snakes, bites you, you can actually just immediately pass out. So here we are on the map. And I am just going to go back to fast forwarding a little bit, because I'm not seeing any plant species X yet. We've gone kind of up and down this little corridor here. And once again, we are just looking along the shore next to the swamp, seeing if we see any big orange-pink flowers like the ones on the intro of this video. And I'm not seeing any yet. I'm seeing tons of cattails. And if you take like a Triceratops, Stegosaur, or Iguanodon up to those cattails, you can harvest them and get plant species X reasonably consistently, but you've got to deal with all the dangerous swamp creatures on the edge of the swamp. So this, once again, is the area that that I thought I might find some. So a lot of times you'll find some plant species X right on the edge of the swamp right here, but it's a very clear area, and aside from a couple crocodiles and stuff, it is, one of the safer places to find plant species X right around here. But I am just not seeing it. That pink thing turned out to be a frog, so Christmas colors, right? So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to keep moving on from here. But you can see the green obelisk up there, and oh, there we go. So in the distance, you see that big rock that's overhanging the swamp? That is a spot where I'm pretty sure we can find some plant species X, since we didn't find any earlier here. And right below that rock outcropping, next to the T-Rex. Lovely. Okay, that's going to be fun. So we're going to avoid that T-Rex at all costs. But right below that big rock that's jutting out over the swamp should be a plant species X. And I'm pretty confident we'll find one there. So let's see here. I'm keeping my eyes peeled right at the corner of the land here, and yep, there it is. Check it out. You can barely see it from here, so I'm going to rest up, get my stamina back. The other thing I love about this spot is this flat rock sticking out over the swamp is a great place to rest. I can see if there's anything dangerous here and get it to chase me off a cliff if there is. I'm not touching that loot drop because there's a big snake next to it. It's just not worth the risk, but check that out. Where I am right here with that blue arrow is the spot where we're going to find this plant species X right below this big rock pillar. And once again, you may or may not actually find it there when you get here, but this is a very good place to look. And then all along this river to the south, you can find some, every now and then. So T-Rex is there. I see some crocodiles in the distance, but it looks like that Rex may keep everybody pretty busy. And I'm not seeing anything in the water right next to it. Now, this is really risky, but I am going to land right next to this plant species X and give it a second to see if anything's chasing me. Listen, make sure your sound is on, and I'm actually just tapping X really fast to gather as fast as I can, and I'm getting really nervous because it's taking forever to grab this. Turns out this thing is surrounded by other plants, and I'm gathering those instead of the seeds that I want, so come on, hurry up. Okay, there we go. Now I'm getting a bunch of plant species X seeds and getting out of here as fast as I possibly can. Whew. Okay, so normally when I do that, I will actually land for like 30 seconds and just keep an eye out to make sure nothing is going to come and aggro me and come after me. But we had a T-Rex right next to us, and I figured that was probably better to get out of the way of him. But, yeah, we managed to pull off our plant species X seeds, and now I'm going to point my arrow to the south, and we're going to follow this river all the way back to our house. So, yeah, you can actually get those plant species X seeds from cattails, but it takes a long time to get them. And I just got like 40 plant species X seeds from that one plant. And basically, like, it is worth getting a ton of those because every turret you make requires one seed. And then if your turret runs out of fertilizer, that turret will break and you'll have to grow another one. Oh, some crazy guys in the background there. Alright, so I'm getting out of here. This area to my right, this plateau, is a great base area for like an alpha tribe. But there's a lot of space and it's easy to defend because it kind of juts out over this area, and you can you'd only have to defend like one side of this plateau. But, you get some nasty spawns here. We got a T-Rex right there. So I'm going to try to taunt him off the cliff. Oh man, another Tapehara in the background too. And if he chases me over the edge there, and almost, come on. If he chases me over the edge, he'll fall off, and then I can go rest on his little plateau. There we go. Okay. So, T-Rex fell off, and now we can just sit safely on top, and he can't do anything to us from down below. So we should be in great shape here, unless there's some kind of horrible glitch, but I'll just keep an eye out for him down there. He's just throwing a temper tantrum because he can't reach me. And we got all of our stamina back. Now that's a very effective tactic whenever predators come after you. There's that Spinosaur again, man. So, hey, and that other Tapehara in the left there. And that is a nice tech stego, huh? Okay. Moving on, gotta keep from getting distracted. I definitely need to make sure I get back safely with these Plant Species X seeds. And just to show you real quick, I'm getting kind of low on stamina, so I stopped sprinting and I'm just going to eat a whole bunch of these stem berries. And you can see my stamina is actually coming back a little bit, but I'm going through meat like nobody's business. I just used up like 10 meat in no time. So that's what you can do if, under total emergency, you cannot land and don't have time to land. So we're just about back, and oh, is that an alpha raptor? Yikes. Okay, that guy's bad news. Remind me to stay away from that. So just so you know, we just built this really cool fortress, and I'm actually going to keep it parked on this safe, shallow beach, and I'm not going to move it until I actually have mature Plant Species X turrets in place. And I highly recommend, if you build a fortress like this, you do not take it out into the water unless you have those Plant X turrets. It is a very imperative thing that you do not risk losing your raft to whales, but we, in the next episode, will show you how to build these seeds into awesome turrets, which will be able to keep your base totally safe from attackers, and as long as you're careful. So tune in next time, and we'll show you how to build these Plant Species X seeds into awesome defense turrets, and use those to defend your floating fortress or any other base that you need. Thanks so much for watching. If this was helpful, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching this video from the Ark Survival Guide. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful, please like this video and subscribe to our channel so we can bring you more great guides like this one. Ark is an amazing game, but there is so much to learn before you can really enjoy it. We are dedicated to bringing you high-quality guides, tutorials, and Let's Play videos that are fun, helpful, clean, and suitable for the entire family. There's a tutorial in this series for everything we have done so far in this video. Check out these playlists for more episodes from this series and other guides to help you enjoy your journey on Ark.